Tell us what you thought about the winners and the losers.
Oh, start that over again. I was like, not ready yet. Hold on.
What did you think about the Oscars this year?
Please let baby, will you calm down? I'm former movie Trivia Schmodown singles champion Marisol McKee, aka Lady Justice.
And I'm former movie Trivia Schmodown singles champion Adam the Coyote Collins.
They've wrapped. The Oscars have wrapped.
Oh man, this was a fun one.
What a fantastic
We're on a
show.
roll between this year and last year.
I know. Well, you can only go up, after a couple of years ago. But hats off to the new executive producers, really crushed it this year.
So yeah, Jimmy Kimmel back again, second year in a row.
Second year in a row, fourth time overall.
And, he's an in-house fella. It's an ABC show, so It makes sense.
Serviceable. He's fine. I have no real complaints about Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel hater. Still a professional through and through, shouting out all the Teamsters at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent touch to his opening monologue. Well done on the writers for that one. But I was hearing some repeat jokes, making jokes about, the movies are so long this year again. It just happens. Every time he hits, there will be a couple false notes. I really didn't think he needed to make that dig at Robert Downey Jr.'s sobriety.
This is the highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s long and illustrious career. Well, one of the highest points.
Pretty low at the highest point in somebody's career to bring up their struggles with addiction as a joke.
Obviously it's a collaborative effort. There's a lot of things written. And what I will give Kimmel credit for is that when something didn't quite land, moved on pretty smoothly. And I appreciated that. But I will say now that the framework's there, I'd like to see them rotate in some new hosts. I was saying earlier today, if I had my druthers, Patton Oswalt's at the top of the list. I think he'd be perfect.
Ooh.
I think you need a real cinephile who's great on stage, and I think Patton would be perfect.
Everybody got what they want. The show started earlier, so it could end earlier. So we all win. Really loved how much it clipped along because it wasn't weighed down by stuff that didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
The shenanigans were kept to a minimum this year. Trust me, we like shenanigans. But outside of a couple of things like John Cena's bold and daring homage to the streaker of the 70s and the tequila toast in the middle, the shenanigans were kept to a minimum. So it was just the right amount that didn't distract from the ceremony. The entertainment instead came from the charisma of the presenters, a lot of killer presenting duos in this Oscar, and giving the time to the recipients to actually give heartfelt, thoughtful speeches. They lifted up the best aspects of the streamlined Oscar show. It also helps that we did have two of the biggest box office hits of the year also be some of the biggest Oscar contenders. And I'm not going to lie, the pink poofy presence of Barbie throughout this whole Oscars did elevate it a lot.
Yeah.
Centerpiece scene being the performance of I'm Just Ken, which was a major moment. And that was such a major energy, just serious high right in the middle of the show. I don't know if they're going to get that kind of endorphin boost next year. We were still so proud of the holdovers. We ate some Cherries Jubilee last night. I was flambeing in this bitch.
Flambeing. I just want to go back to John Cena for a second. That was the perfect way to commit to a bit. And also just playing up the physicality, his little shuffle onto the stage, and then culminating for me in that little backstage moment before they cut to commercial of him seeing The Rock, and they're both like, sup.
Rock was like, nice robe.
Another day in the life, right?
Yeah.
More normal than the WWE. And in years past, one thing I've noticed a lot of the time is there's a tendency to lean into the bits, to the sketches. Of
course.
And I think sometimes it's been done out of desperation. But what I think this year and last year have done admirably is celebrating why we love movies in the first place, and lingering on the finer aspects of the industry and the history of it. Seeing the way they framed the acting awards, was very, very effective.
One of the most memorable Oscars of my lifetime to this day is still the 2009 ceremony. And all four of the acting Oscars they picked 5 past recipients of it to come out and give heartfelt testimonials about that year's nominees. So happy it did this year, because what a beautiful way to give each of these mega talented performers their flowers.
You get to see more of the narrative behind the art here, not only with the nominees, but the winners themselves,
Absolutely,
who are addressing the nominees. And that way, no matter who wins, it's something to celebrate all around.
And carefully chosen actors too. In some cases, they were people's best friends, like Jamie Lee Curtis addressing Jodie Foster, or passing down generations of landmark recognition, like Rita Moreno addressing America Ferrera. I got emotional every single time they did one of those. Do it every once in a while, like they did with this, or maybe every 5 years. Absolute soul-touching stuff. Yes, Messi the dog
Messi.
still got to be there.
Those
all right,
blue eyes.
Big
All
middle finger to all the studios
right.
who told him he couldn't be there. He was still there in his own way. You know, obviously he wasn't there.
With his little clap.
Little clap. No, justice served. Okay, for Messi. Look, we all know the ladies are always going to look beautiful, but I want to point out the gentlemen, the sharp-dressed gentlemen at the Oscars.
Yeah, if you had eagle eyes, Riz Ahmed was out there looking fly. Yeah.
Looking like the baddest Star Trek villain on the runway. Let me tell you that. So many memorable presenter duos. It's about the simple magic of the Oscars and the magic you can create between two seasoned, beloved entertainers, as we saw numerous times in the evening. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger get up there with Danny DeVito, Emily Blunt crush it with a banter with Ryan Gosling. You had Michael Keaton and Catherine O'Hara slay it. You had Kate McKinnon and America Ferrera have us in stitches.
Enjoyed cutaways to Spielberg. You know, he didn't have any real skin in the game this year, but it was just nice to see him relaxed.
Legend.
Schwarzenegger and DeVito, one of the pure highlights of the evening for me. Not only seeing them up there on stage together, but then the cutaways to Michael Keaton. And Keaton was so there for it.
Batman, that son of a bitch.
Where is he?
Yeah.
He's here.
I hate him.
There he is. He's right here. He's right here. Look.
Batman, you son of a bitch. I also love this idea of retconning the Batman movies in which Michael Keaton's in Batman and Robin. Let's go with that scenario.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, right. I should have stuck with my should wins. Okay, if I learned anything from this, I went 11 out of the 19 categories I predicted. You went 12 out of the 19 categories you predicted. Look at you. Big winner of the night was indeed Oppenheimer. We figured it would be. We overestimated how many it would win. We underestimated Poor Things. Even though Oppenheimer did get 7 Oscar wins, which is a lot, I still think it was a great year to show a spread, exactly what I talked about last year, about highlighting an individual strength of the film, actually utilizing the categories correctly. Poor Things had 4. Way to go, Poor Things. A couple early awards went its way: makeup, production design, costume design.
And, you know, I guess part of me was rooting for Barbie to pick up some of those, you know, design categories because I found it to be such a strength. I found it to be a strength in Poor Things as well. I just underestimated its impact on the Academy.
Then we have Zone of Interest next with 2 wins for International Feature and Sound.
Yes. You know, we had picked Zone of Interest as our should win, and it was great to see it rewarded for how specific and subtle it is.
We felt very strongly it was coming. We thought it was a sure thing. It didn't stop it from destroying me when Da'Vine Joy Randolph got up there and won that Best Supporting Actress Oscar.
So to see Lupita address her and bring up the point about her grandmother's glasses and seeing it through her eyes and the eyes of her grandmother, I think was just a beautiful full circle moment. It was a fantastic performance, and it comes from someone who obviously just is very genuine.
Exudes authenticity. What a wonderful human being.
For so long, I've always wanted to be different. And now I realize I just need to be myself.
Best Supporting Actor went to Robert Downey Jr. as we expected, but it was still really cool.
Robert Downey Jr. is such a giant personality that we saw so much of his personality in the character of Tony Stark. And I like how Strauss was a departure of that. It really is a deserved award because it is him applying himself in a different way than just his usual shtick. I also love that he contacted Katie Lang's stylist, apparently. He looked fly as hell. Billowing slacks, low cut, the open blouse, angular shoulder pads.
And I really loved his comment in his speech to his wife about being essentially a rescue dog that she saved.
She found me a snarling rescue pet, and you love me back to life. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Congratulations to Billie Eilish, youngest 2-time Oscar winner ever. That is insane.
Yeah.
22 years old. That is insane.
And she really brought the house down with that performance. Really impressive to see not only the performer, but the writer of the song get the same award.
Biggest shock of the night for me, absolutely, hands down, was American Fiction winning Best Adapted Screenplay. Holy hell. That was huge. Massive congratulations to Cord Jefferson.
I took for granted that Oppenheimer was a frontrunner in this category because of the density of the source material, American Prometheus. But it is cool to see them spread the wealth a little bit and give recognition to someone who plucked a book from a different era, as we discussed, and brought it into the present day in a way that might feel familiar to some, but honestly is a refreshing message for a wide audience.
You had said it best about that, how it is about moving the needle forward for a lot of people at once. And I think the win for American Fiction was indicative of that.
And I think Cord's speech was just so effective because he spoke off the cuff, you know, and he spoke to something that is very important, which is
it doesn't always work out, but you take the risk anyway. And instead of making one $200 million movie, try making 20 $10 million movies. Or
then over an original screenplay, yes, Anatomy of a Fall did in fact pull through.
Expected holdovers to maybe pull this one out, and you know, part of me was rooting for it too because I love the movie so much. But Anatomy of a Fall was getting at something dark that is tough to confront. And the way it unfurls as a narrative is so cool to watch.
Godzilla.
Go, go, Godzilla.
Yes!
Our buddy pulled it out. 70 years old, finally won his first Oscar. Takashi Yamazaki himself was, you know, the director of the film, you know, was right there on the effects team leading the charge. So it was good to see him and the team really get up there and celebrate with their Godzilla toys.
Look at him, glorious. And all the little baby Godzillas, the little gold one with the tux. I want one. I want one of those toys. Best actress. We were on the edge of our seat for that one. I got to be honest, a mix of disappointment but jubilation. Emma Stone, amazing actress, is now a 2-time Oscar winner and so deserved for Poor Things.
There needs to be some recognition for Emma Stone for spearheading this project along with Yorgos Lanthimos. Like, it started with him, but I think, you know, she really got the bug after working with him on The Favorite. Her performance in Poor Things is the definition of fearless. You know, she does not hold back.
Unfortunately, it came at the hands of a loss to Lily Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone, you know, I was expecting her to win, and I was hoping she would win because of how soulful and emotional her performance is. Definitively on the map now, and I can't wait to start seeing her in more stuff. Emma Stone, utterly classy in her reception. You could tell she was genuinely surprised seeing Lily
be as dignified and humbling and supportive as ever. Beautiful example of a tough pick'em in Oscar history, but a moment that we all can take something away from proudly.
Also good to see Cillian Murphy get up there with his little mop top and pick up his Best Actor Oscar. We would have loved to see Paul Giamatti win, and I love them both. Love both of those movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the best situation you can ask for when you have these many categories where it's like it's too close to call.
And may I see Oppenheimer? Yes.
Pacino really cut to the chase, didn't he? Wow. Someone needed to get to bed.
He was just trying to make sure. He saw Warren and Faye up there a few years ago. He was covering his bases. He was like, I'm seeing Oppenheimer. I'm just letting you guys know that's what I'm seeing. Nolanites unite! He did it. Nolan got that Best Director Oscar and Best Picture all in one night. What a duo, him and Emma Thomas. Husband and wife duo, been producing his films since day one, since Following. And it was a long time coming, but it was really powerful seeing her up there, giving that speech, accepting that Oscar.
Well, Christopher Nolan had his moment up there with the director Oscar, and he was incredibly eloquent and, you know, kind of soft-spoken in a way.
That exiting line of him being so gracious to be considered a part of film history was just chef's kiss.
We don't know where this incredible journey is going from here, but to know that you think that I'm a meaningful part of it means the world to me.
And regardless of where you land on how much you like or dislike the movie, I think the reason it's garnered so much respect is because it is a visionary project.
What a killer Oscars year.
I think the strength of the show is in its simplicity and returning to the roots and letting the people who love what they do and are proud of what they've accomplished lead the narrative. I would like to see them build upon this in next year, and like I said, maybe just do it with a different host. Give Jimmy a break; he's fine, but I'd like to see someone else personally.
There's always going to be little butt nuggets out there just complaining about how irrelevant the Oscars is, yada, yada, yada. I've said it before. As long as the show is maintaining its integrity and dignity, there's nothing more you can ask. And I think this Oscars did just that. What did you think of the Oscars? Please tell us your high points, low points, your favorite win, one that really, really thought they got it wrong.
Yeah, did Best Animated Short really grind your gears? Let us know. Please follow us, Champs on Film on YouTube, obviously, and Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow us individually, Eisenthor and Marisol_Miraya on Twitter and Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I'm Bella Baxter. I'm Bella Baxter.